This commentary is just after the boys have taken registration and they're going to assembly. And here, Barry Hines uses the assembly in order to kind of expose the hypocrisy at the heart of the education system. And also the fact that it's not really set out in a way that cares about the students. And it's quite an interesting, I've highlighted some of the key things you need to look at. So, begins hymn number 1575. Every morning is the love. Now, in a sense, this is how it's going to start. New every morning is the love. What love is this we're talking about? Well, begin and sort of everyone sort of starts flicking and people start coughing and hawking and the usual. And Mr. Grice is furious behind the lectern, scooped up his stick and began to smack it vertically down the face. Stop that infernal coughing. So immediately, Mr. Grice, he's got a stick and he starts smacking it down. And in a way, he sort of anticipates, the issues, but is prepared to use his stick to achieve his ends, what he wants. Again, he is prepared to beat students to maintain order. There's a sense of real. So there's a sense of violence about this interaction. So here I just want to get rid of yellow. Okay, I'll do that. But also drop that down and probably by 12. Let's see. I want to kind of look at so he anticipates the issues, but he's prepared to use his stick. Stop that infernal coughing. And here we get this sort of this simile, okay? Simile. Okay. He's like an attack dog. We've got this sort of really kind of interesting way that they look at him here. He's kind of like an attack dog. Now we need to get rid of that. Let's see. There we go. There we are. So Grace like an attack dog. Every morning alike, so he anticipates this. This is what happens. All right. So anyway, after he's banged that, they start looking at that. But the boys are kind of looking at him now, and the idea of the prisoners in the panopticon kind of springs to mind. The panopticon is, in a sense, it's by fear. Okay. The use of fear and paranoia. Control the crowd. Panopticon, in a sense, Jeremy Bentham, he was involved in John Stuart Mill's utilitarianism. He was the precursor to John Stuart Mill's philosophy of that. And the panopticon, in a sense, was a circular prison, and in the middle was a tower, and the tower was shielded in a way where you couldn't see into the kind of the tower, but the people in the tower could see into the prison. in a way that they could see into every single room from just basically just walking around in a circle. They could see into every room. So you never knew whether you were being watched or not. And that paranoia and that fear kept you from stepping out of line. And they didn't need any they reckon no bars on the cells to keep people in, because in a sense you kept yourself in check because you're always paranoid you're being watched. And this in a sense is what's happening here. But everything's fine until this boy coughs. Who did that? And again, the teachers moved in like a riot squad. Again, the teachers are there in a way to kind of control the crowd. There's a sense of the possibility of violence. Riot squads will resort to violence to achieve their ends. And this is the teachers, in a way. It's kind of, keeping them in line. And then Crossley, he's been tasked with finding the wrongdoer. He starts thrusting him aside in a panic. And in a way, he's not kind of, things. It wasn't me, sir. Of course it was you. It wasn't, sir. Honest, I saw you. Apologies. That's where it came from, around there. Crossley grabbed the boy by the arm, began to yank him into the open. Of course it was you. It wasn't. Ken, I saw you. And here a scapegoat needs to be found and punished. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's the wrong one. I apologize. My cat's going a bit mad. It doesn't matter if it's the wrong person. They sacrificial lamb. And that's what the scapegoat is. It comes from the Old Testament. The children of Israel would kind of get an innocent little kind of, sheep or lamb, and they kind of put all their sins on there, metaphorically, in a sense, figuratively, and then send us out into the wilderness to be kind of ripped apart by wild animals. And so the scapegoat needs to be found. In this case, it's McDowell. But anyway, so he gets there, everything calms down after they've found their scapegoat, who's going to be punished later on, beaten. Replaces stick, and then they begin the hymn. New every morning is the love. There doesn't seem to be much love. Again, he says, it's a hymn of joy, not a dirge. And in a sense, you kind of get this idea of cognitive dissonance here. It's kind of like, hold on a second, but, if you're punishing and beating people and dragging people out of an assembly and bashing the lectern with a stick, I don't think they're kind of in a joyful mood anyway. So he kind of, how he's acting is really, really strange. So anyway, the do verse 2. New mercies, okay, every morning, returning morning. They've returned to assembly today, and strangely, ironically, that they've already chosen to punish someone for coughing. There is no mercy there. Mr. Gresh shows no mercy. So his choice of him, he doesn't get it. Obviously, he doesn't appreciate the irony of what he's doing. And then finally, it finishes off with the kind of, with, in a sense, the metaphorical, never despise one of these. And it's about the sheep who goes astray, that biblical parable about the kind of thing. The sheep that goes astray, and the shepherd's really happy when he finds it. The 99 sheep and the one sheep that goes astray. You can read it there. And in the end of the day, it's kind of a bit like Billy. Billy, in the sense, is that stray sheep. He doesn't fit in there. He's not right there. And really, this Barry Hines wants to expose the hypocrisy of the school system and the Christian ideals that they stand for. And Billy Casper is the proverbial sheep. So in this particular part, we start to see how Barry Hines kind of shows us how, really at the heart of the education system are masters who don't really seem to care about their charges, that they don't really appreciate, in a sense, the kind of Christian ideals that they're meant to uphold, and that really they don't really care. It's just a one-size-fits-all.